Hi, Dr. Dave here, A.K.A. the Garden Shrink. I'm an old psychologist with fresh insights into life, love, and gardening. Join me on a journey to increase our fruit, both in the garden and in our personal and professional lives. Whether you're just thinking about gardening as a hobby, or you're an old pro, or just someone interested in psychological advice minus the copay, I've got something for you. So come on, let's grow together.
In Game of Thrones, they warned us over and over and over again. Winter is coming. And doggone it, they were right. Not only is it coming, but it came to Middlesex County, Massachusetts on Friday, October 10th. On Thursday, lush, vine-ripened tomatoes and yellow squash still coming out the wazoo. Friday, all gone, kaput. All of it wiped out by a very brief freeze. So sad. And the really sad news, no more of my famous fresh salsa. And the good news, no more having to make that fresh, famous salsa or missing college football games on Saturdays. But I was ready for winter. Are you? Are you prepared for the end of the gardening season? And maybe more importantly, are you prepared for the winters in your life? As a psychologist of 35 years and a gardener for 25, I can assure you they are coming. Today I'm going to talk about dealing with the end of the gardening season, and I'll talk a bit about the winter seasons in our personal lives and how we can prepare for both. So let's grow together. To give you a little background, I did some gardening as a kid with my granddaddy, who was a prolific gardener. But that's it. But soon after moving from Florida to Massachusetts 23 years ago, I know, crazy, right? I discovered in a rectangular plot on the side of my new yard a singular rogue tomato plant growing up among the weeds. It hadn't been planted there intentionally, but there it was. And that's a great metaphor for a different day. An heirloom in the weeds, a diamond in the rough. But I digress. That one tomato plant inspired me to scatter a few seeds the following May. And while my 3 daughters did not embrace earthworms or the dirt under their fingernails, I did. Over the next couple of years, I found gardening to be not only challenging, battles against insects, plant-eating varmints, and Mother Nature herself, but tremendously rewarding. Yes, Farmer Dave, gardening filled my belly and my soul. It resonated not only with my personality and my love of learning, but with core issues in psychology: growth, maturation, balance, resilience, blossoming, flourishing, thriving, proliferating, all these action words. And this new hobby opened totally new doors, which became new passions, with cooking my veggies, with preserving the harvest, with canning and pickling and fermenting and freezing, with making homemade ragu, sauerkraut, zucchini bread, eggplant parm, and authentic Louisiana-style hot sauce. Not to mention filling my weekends with visits to garlic festivals and garden centers and the Ace Hardware store up the street. It is truly a beautiful store, half a mile from my house. Enough. Back to winter. When it arrived, I was ready. I was watching and waiting, as I am every year. Because in Zone 6, a 7 a.m. frost or freeze, even for an hour or two, will cause the cells of my plants to burst, causing the death of the veggies I've nurtured from seed and protected and cared for during the last 5 months. So what can we do to protect them from a freeze? And what can we do as gardeners and human beings to prepare for winter? Great question. But first, a question from a faithful listener. Dr. Dave, if I make it all the way to the end of this video, will you be offering special tricks, tips, or information like those other YouTube channels do? You know, stay tuned to the very end and push that like button? Hey, thanks for the question, listener. No, it's all special here. There is such a thing as a dumb question on this channel. All right, here we go. Number one, most importantly, read the signs. Keep your eyes wide open. Hello, McFly. Like Christmas or your mortgage payment, winter is coming. Don't act surprised. Be watchful. This time of year, I'm looking at my weather app every day for rainfall and low temperature predictions. The average first freeze date in my neck of the woods occurs in mid-October. It's a big secret. No, it's not a big secret. It's common knowledge. When's your first freeze date? You don't know? It's not a secret either. Just ask ChatGPT or go to the Old Farmer's Almanac, National Garden Association, or your local university extension office's websites. My local extension office is at the Center for Agriculture, Food, and the Environment at UMass Amherst. What's a university extension, you ask? Well, ChatGPT says a university extension office is a part of the university that helps share the school's knowledge and research with the public, not just the students. It's a great place to get gardening information, pertinent to your location. So first and foremost, don't be blindsided. Know your average first frost date and be on the lookout for lows in the mid to lower 30s. Better to be overzealous and a bit paranoid than nonchalant or regretful. Second, don't just stand there, do something. Anything, even if it's wrong. In our personal lives, it might mean going to the doctor instead of ignoring that weird new pain or symptom. Guys, going to the mechanic when the car makes that clicking sound, or seeking out a couples counselor when disagreements become more frequent before the water under the bridge becomes a torrent. Ignoring problems creates bigger problems. Ignoring pain leads to greater pain. Deal with it in the fall. Don't wait for winter. As an aside, two classic New York Times best-selling books from my younger days, The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck and The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker, both suggest that most of our problems and neuroses stem from avoiding or denying problems rather than facing them. Don't do that. In the garden, if temperatures approach 32 degrees or below it for a few nights, you can often extend the growing season, sometimes by several weeks, just by taking protective action. Watering the plants the day before and mulching the area around your plants are helpful in hydrating your plants and trapping the heat and keeping down temperatures below ground. Above ground, simply covering your plants to insulate them is often the answer. Like a windbreaker, just enough to keep the cold off for a brief time. Now you can buy commercial products like hoops and row covers of different weights and materials. I get a lot of my products from Johnny's Seed Company here in New England to protect your plants, but more often than not, I go cheapo, free. I use old sheets, pillowcases, or light blankets. Sometimes I use the wrong sheets, which gets me in trouble. You know what I'm talking about? Sorry, honey. It's for the maters. It's recommended that you keep the covering from actually touching the plants to prevent damage, which is fine. But at this point in the season, I can live with a little damage. I'm not trying to chase that first high that comes with harvesting in early August. I'm just trying to get a few more tomatoes before I have to buy hard, dull orange ones from the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Cover your plants completely and secure them to the ground. I often keep a pile of rocks at the edge of my garden for such a time as this. Rocks are great. They serve all kinds of useful functions in my garden. And I have all kinds of jury-rigged things for cheapo solutions to garden problems that I'll share with you in videos to come. But back to covering our plants, The next day, remove those covers when the temperatures climb above freezing. Do not leave them on. Rinse and repeat as necessary. Back to October 10th, the freeze. Temperatures in my town were only dipping below 32 for one night. The forecast for the next 2 weeks was milder, but this one night the prediction was a low of 28. And I was satisfied with my haul this year, and to be honest with you, kind of sick of yellow squash. I probably got 80 or 90 from a 4x4 raised bed. Crazy productivity. So I chose not to cover my tomatoes this year, but I did the next best thing. Number 3, I reaped what I had sown. I picked every last veggie that was left in my garden. Undersized cukes, green peppers, and green tomatoes. I picked them all, and then I gave a eulogy. Did you know if you pick green tomatoes, they'll ripen on the counter? Put them in a box in a cool spot, covered with newspaper. They will. Although these are often not as good as mid-season tomatoes, but they're still head and shoulders above grocery store ones. Trust me on that. What else can you use green tomatoes for besides making fried green tomatoes? Well, you can just ask ChatGPT or Gemini, or refer to the Ball Blue Book, the Bible of canning, how to use green tomatoes to make things like green salsa, relishes, and chutneys. And by the way, those small cukes and peppers, often taste as good or better than their older, seedier brethren. So don't be afraid to harvest everything if you so desire. And that's what I did. I interrupt our regularly scheduled program for important breaking news. As a social media newbie, I've spent about 15 hours trying to fix a glitch in the middle of my video. Rather than pulling more hair out of my head, I've decided to take my own advice to pivot, be flexible, and self-forgiving. And I'm going to redo the damaged segment from my home studio and carry on. So bear with me and forgive me. Thanks for your understanding, everybody. Us older folk walk a little slower in cyberspace, you know? Okay, Dr. Dave, how do we do that? Hey, I'm glad you asked. Before you start and end your day, identify 3 simple things you're thankful for. For me today, I figured out where the glitch was in my video. Number 2, I figured out where the glitch was in my personality. Number 3, I decided to let it all go and have a chocolate chip cookie. Kidding. Next, be on the lookout all day long for micro gratitude moments, like I didn't have to wait in line at the grocery store, or the traffic was light on my way to work today, or my streaming service just dropped season 2 of ... whatever that might be. Sometimes it's just those simple things that make life better and more enjoyable, and we oftentimes ignore them and overlook them. Lastly, we can foster gratitude by using gratitude reminders like sticky notes, or pictures of family or vacations that you can put on your mirror, your fridge, or your dashboard, or put some pumpkin seeds in your pocket to remind you of your garden. Things to remind us of what's important and to be mindful of beauty, goodness, and blessings. It's all about mindfulness, being aware. Number 4, we need to prepare for winter. Be proactive, plan, live in a way that promotes and increases our chances of good health. The common sense things. Eat your veggies, get 7.5 hours of sleep, move your body, engage in strength training, eat and drink in moderation, keep your mind active by becoming a lifetime learner, and save and invest our money and don't overextend yourself, just to live wisely. These are all no-brainers, but they will help us, if we follow them, kind of avoid some serious pitfalls in life. But regardless of our healthy living, we will still experience pain and loss and tragedy, and it's unavoidable. So if we can't totally avoid some of these dark times, what can we do to mitigate and insulate us from it when it does arrive? Glad you asked. Ready? One of the best and biggest things we can do. Here we go. Develop and nurture social connections. We need people in our lives. We are a We're not. We're attachment animals, not lone wolves. It's the way we're wired. It's in our DNA. Having strong social support, having friends and emotional bonds and connections is not necessary to live, but it is necessary to living a happy life. And this is not just ancient wisdom or the common sense of an extrovert. It's strongly supported by clinical research. Those with strong social bonds are often healthier and happier and live longer than those with less connections. They manage stress better. They have less anxiety and depression, and drumroll please, a reduced risk of developing dementia. Wow! I mean, who'd have thought that hanging out was actually healthy? It is. Socialization helps us winterize our personal lives and provides protection and support for life's curveballs. It's like covering our plants before a freeze. Relationships provide warmth and protection and insulation. So, call your mother, go hiking with your friend, and tell someone how much they mean to you before winter arrives. Thanks, Dr. Dave. In the garden, how do we prepare for winter? One way I prepare is by using biodegradable grow bags for some of my plants. You can buy these containers online. They come in a variety of sizes